Greetings, citizens. Welcome to Gotham. Today I'm going to talk about... Okay, what is it? You mean this mask? It's not an authentic Batman mask, I know. Yeah. But do you have any idea how hard it is to get one on a tight budget of $0? Well, it's pretty difficult. Anyway, I'm still going to talk about the Batman games for the Commodore 64. And yes, you heard me right. Games.
RetroKork.
Okay, for the Commodore 64 we had 2 Batman games, as far as I know at least. And I have to make a statement here because otherwise my knowledge on Batman and the DC Universe is kind of limited. So please, if you have any disagreement regarding the comic book aspect of Batman, keep in mind that I've read very few American-style superhero comics, which I believe is pretty much the only style of superhero comics you can get. Anyway, I'm also more or less a fan of Marvel. Not necessarily that much of a difference, though. It just means that I've read, I believe, 2 or 3 issues of Spider-Man and 3 issues, I believe, of Captain America. Also, just to clarify, these games obviously take place way before the recent DC Universe reboot, relaunch, whatever you call that. Okay, now that I've done slightly the job someone smarter than me would have asked to do a comic book fan, or maybe even a comic book reviewer. But I wonder, no, I don't think The Last Angry Geek would work, especially not since he's now part of the plot. Anyway, it's time to go for the games right now. The first one I'm going to talk about is Batman the movie, and this one is obviously based on the first Batman movie done by Tim Burton. And strangely enough, this is one of the few movies he did without Johnny Depp. I'm going to talk about this one not because it's better in any way, even though this one is more straightforward. It's just the game that I remember more playing than the other. So the game itself is divided into 5 levels. 2 of them are your basic side-scrolling platforming combat game, shooting game levels. 2 of them have you steer a vehicle, and 1 is a puzzle level. Yes, a puzzle level. But let's go through them chronologically, okay? The first level takes place at Axis Chemical Plant, where you hunt down Jack, not yet the Joker, Napier, and try to bring him to justice, which in the movie means you get to presumably kill him. And yes, as you can probably already tell, this one is one of the side-scrolling combat levels. A shooting level, actually. Because your weapon of choice is the batarang. And you have an unlimited amount of them. So yeah, that's kind of useful. But also it means that they didn't have to implement hand-to-hand combat routines. Anyway, after you finish the level with the result being that Jack now swims in chemical goo, the next level loads and you have to drive home to the Batcave with the Batmobile through Gotham. And I can say, and do that without lots of embarrassment at least, I think, I can say that this level confused the hell out of me. To make a left turn, you push fire, you press fire, so that, yeah, you shoot a grappling hook and do the turn. So yeah, then you are on a different street. The next level is the puzzle level. 3 cosmetic products contain traces of Smilex, the Joker's trademark poison. And you have to find out, by deduction of course, which ones combine to Smilex and just to foil the Joker's plot. And yes, you only have a limited amount of tries. And after you foiled that attempt of the Joker to seize control over the city, you're in the Batwing, trying to disconnect the balloons from the parade floats of the 200-year celebration of Gotham's founding. As I said, these balloons are filled with poisonous gas. And as I said, this is another racing driving level with you flying the Batarang. The Batarang? The Batwing. You're flying on a Batarang and you're smaller than, say, the Atom. And the last level of this game has you on foot again, hunting the Joker down on the Gotham Cathedral. This level kind of mirrors the first one, and actually this symmetry goes throughout the entire game. This level mirrors the first one in a bit, but of course the graphics are different. The ending's a bit different as well, but I'm not going to spoil it for you after all. If you want to, there are probably some long plays out there, or let's plays. Also, your health meter is energy or so, and it slowly depletes over time when you're too slow, basically, or if you're hurt, if you're hit. Your energy is displayed, or portrayed better to say, by Batman's mugshot in the heads-up display. And if it depletes, it slowly is depleted with the Joker's grin. If the Joker's fully visible, you lose one of the 3 lives you start out with. This game is actually Ocean's 3rd game for Batman. And I believe it's their last one for Batman, actually. But the first one they made never made it to the Commodore 64. Unlike the second one, which I'm going to talk about now. Batman the Caped Crusader is basically taken off the comic book panels. This one is a side view 2D action adventure title. Notice I didn't say side scrolling because there is no scrolling in this game. Every scene is handled like one comic book panel. The main difference is that there are no gadgets outside of the batarangs, and even those you have to pick up. So that also means that there is no Batmobile. Neither that one nor this one, and especially not this one. Yes, that last one was technically a Batmobile. This game offers you two missions, so to speak. One in which you deal with the Penguin, and one in which you take on the Joker. That sounds like a regular day for Batman, actually. Well, there are some problems actually for Batman. Goons and toys, to be exact, plus the fact that the energy slowly depletes, and not just when you're being hit. You're hungry, getting hungry. So you fight against the goons and the toys using hand-to-hand combat, or by using the batarangs. That is, if you pick up the batarangs in the Batcave, you can technically ignore them if you want to make this game harder, but seeing that this game is already pretty hard, I would advise against it. Oh, and you have only one life, so no energy means all the way back to the beginning, but you can replenish your energy by eating food. Just take a look for the bat symbol on the panel and grab it. So for the Penguin mission, it's rather straightforward. Penguin released a lot of toy planes and toy soldiers on the city, plus a lot of hired goons, who all will, by the way, respawn if you return to a panel you already visited, increasing the difficulty even more. You, in the end, should just go to the Penguin's hideout and put an end to his menace. Well, a temporary end. The other adventure is a bit more complex, as Robin has been kidnapped. Is it just me? Is it just me, or is Robin the go-to damsel in distress? Sorry for all that, but when Vicky Vale is unavailable, the Joker has kidnapped Robin and put him in his funfair. On top of that, the Joker has hidden a bunch of explosives in Gotham's sewers, just to make the world a little more difficult for Batman. So your job is to disarm those bombs in the sewers, rescue the boy Wonder, as in, boy, I wonder how he got into trouble this time. Joker's arsenal consists of goons, toy helicopters instead of planes, and miniature trains instead of toy soldiers. So yeah, from a technical perspective, these are pretty much the same enemies with a different sprite, as in the Penguin adventure. This game, in case I haven't made it clear, it's hard. Seriously, the difficulty is the major killjoy in this game, as the graphics are solid, the music is catchy, and it takes cues from the Adam West series, and the stories wouldn't be really too out of place for a regular Batman comic. if possible, I would suggest that at least for the first time you try this game, you use a train version. You know, one where you can set yourself to be invincible and the like. Otherwise, yeah, you have no fun because you'll be drained of all your power in no time. Sorry, Ocean, but this game was too difficult to be joy. So there you have it, both Batman games for the Commodore 64. One is extremely difficult and the other one is switching genres like I switch channels on TV sometimes. Next time I'm going to talk about Gauntlet.
Someone got the food.
Excuse me? As I was saying, I'm going to talk about Gauntlet. Oh, forget it.